Oh, right, guys, we're gonna react to the last part of this great debate. Part 3. Let's jump in, guys.
It's gone viral too. It's had 120 million views. There's a woman who suggests she's about to leave her husband because he doesn't do enough domestic chores. Let's take a look.
If you do not participate in an equitable way in your home. And so what does that look like? What does it look like to change these dynamics? Well, we need to really assess in our homes what the work looks like. Because in most homes, the data supports this, women do a disproportionate amount of the work. They just do. They do more of the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry and the childcare while also working full time. And men have more time for things like their hobbies, like golf, for example, or just working out, running a marathon.
Don't be a judge. You don't want to wear the wig. So, like you were the one that wanted to go the full-time job. You don't have to. So now you want to work full-time and complain and being a mom at the same time. We're not playing that game.
Right? And so we need to have hard conversations about what our time looks like, what our labor in the home looks like, what is invisible labor. We have to talk about these things. And when we don't, the alternative is that you no longer have a marriage.
Dang.
Or you don't have a happy one at least. And so I share this story because I don't think I'm alone in this experience. And I want people to know that there's hope and that if you have a willing and able partner, you can change this. You can absolutely change this.
I mean, Emily, I would personally, I would travel continents to avoid a lady like that. But what's your view of what she's saying?
To me, her rant, take away the gender for a moment, because I actually believe women
let's take the gender out of it.
and are a lot messier than men, just in terms of our makeup, our clothing, the abundance of clothing that we have. I think we definitely purchase more accessories than men. And I think we also, like I said, there are gender roles I believe in should be responsible for most of the cleaning. Then on the other hand, if you're marrying a slob, A, you should know who you're getting into a household with. But B, if you're in a happy marriage and you have a sense of communication, why not just sit your partner down and be like, hey, I don't mind cleaning up after you, but when you throw your filthy socks on the bathroom sink or you leave your wet towel and we have mold, I'd appreciate if you could not do this. But I don't think...
Nah, that's a check test. You tell her what time it is. If she does that, you come here. You're not going to tell me what to do in my home. That's what you tell her. That's your test test. Personally, that's your test test. The guy's coming from home tired, man. He's not... That's a neg. You're negging her husband when you do that stuff. You want to know how to get a divorce or how just to get your guy that you would like to just leave you? You neg. You start being neggy, you become very negative. You don't neg. Guy, this is game. Marriage game, right? Your female... your woman tells you, do not throw the socks there. Or throw the socks there. Or don't put the socks there. Here's what you tell her. In my own home, I'll throw the socks wherever I want. Whatever I want. Now, here's the thing. It should not get to marriage for you to deal with check test. You should put that check test to the end in the first interaction. You check test her. You tell her, I'm going to go to work. When I come back, I want you to clean my old clothes. My dirty clothes. The socks that I threw in the floor. I want you to clean them. When I come back home, this apartment has to be clean. Is that understood? So when you get to marriage, this shit doesn't happen. See, but a lot of guys don't understand this. The toilet seat is another one. It's a concession with emasculation with 1,000 concessions by Richard Cooper. Very good analogy. You start conceding to a lot of these points, and you get to a point that you're emasculated. That makes sense, guys? You put the frame on. I put the socks in the living room. When I come back home, you clean up those socks. Because that's how a female gets the husband, guys. By doing wifey duty. Those are wifey duties. She's in a submissive state. You're in a marriage, you do the same thing. Don't get married by the state. If you start naked, you leave her. Simple as that, guys. She doesn't understand it. That's not a woman. But a lot of these chetes, like put the socks where it is. It's just emasculating you. Because it doesn't end there, guys. And then all of a sudden, she has to tell you, can you stay with the kids while I go outside and hang out with my females? friends. At that point, you concede it so much that at that point, she's ready to leave you with another guy. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. When a female is in a relationship, guys, if she starts saying this shit like that, you tell her, this is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to work. If you're going to be part of my life, you have to help me. No neggy. Don't be neggy. I put my socks there, right? You see the where they're at, you pick them up and put in the hamper. And I don't want to hear anything. The same with the drawer, the kitchen drawers. Same thing. Don't say anything, close it. Those are things that you have to do. Because what happens is if you still keep nagging, right, then you become unhappy. Then the relationship is very toxic. Then you marry a toxic female. And she's not even your program. Very small things like that. You should be the one expecting the house to be clean, the kids to be clean, food to be done. Make sure that you do cleaning. And sometimes, you help her. I personally do this. And during the weekends, I do deep cleaning. It's because I'm a very clean guy. I like to be clean. So I do cleaning. I just clean the restrooms, clean everything. Every time that I take a shower, I have squeegee, make sure that everything is clean. I'm very meticulous with stuff like that. I'm already are. But because I'm already like that, I'm expecting my woman to be a higher expectation. If I'm already a clean guy, I clean my restroom every day. Every day, I clean my restroom. So I'm expecting a higher standard for my woman. So don't let this to be don't lose that shit test. When she tells you that, it says that you just pick it up and put it in the hamper. You don't tell me what to do. Pick it up and you put it in the hamper. If she doesn't want to do it, that's not the woman to go for. That's not the woman for you. Shit like that really mess the relationship up. You put your another thing is the plate. If you're eating, you finish your plate, you put your hands like this, and she's supposed to just go grab the plate and put it in the sink. Stuff like that, guys. That's game.
It gets to an extent where like divorce is justifiable unless your husband is like a hoarding pig that's unbearable to live with. I think she's being a little bit dramatic.
But what if he's working at that I'll give you that argument. He's making 6 figures. He's making 6 figures. 200,000, 300,000. You see what I'm saying? Like the dynamic does change. Now you're making only 30K. Well, that's a different equation.
Here, and we all can acknowledge women are a bit messier than men, and it should be just like looking after one another. It's not a big deal to clean up after your partner, and that could go both ways. Not everything is so black or white.
Andrew?
Well, first of all, stay-at-home moms are mostly nowadays parking their kids in public school for most of the day. Oftentimes, the kids are taking buses from the city to the school and buses home. They're not even driving them. Okay, not even driving them. And they have fully furnished lunch, even breakfast at most of these public schools, right? They don't even have to send them with a lunch anymore. They have all day to do household chores while men are working, right? No, women do not do a disproportionate amount of work in comparison to men. That's absurd. No labor statistic supports that. And even if we were to take household chores and put it on the table against a man's work, doesn't even come close, even with children, especially because you're parking them most of the time in a public school for most of the day. This lady who's making this TikTok, totally insane, completely disconnected from reality, has no idea how this actually works.
Good point.
She's not
Okay,
totally
Julie,
insane.
your response to
You're
that.
going to make a choice to marry a girl who's going to cook and clean and do everything. And me as a woman, I'm going to make a choice to hire a housekeeper one day so that I don't have to cook and clean because that's my choice. The problem is you're too obsessed with other people's
What about the choice to the housekeeper? She doesn't have a choice? Oh, okay.
choices. Live and let live. Like, take a step back and recognize
really?
not everyone has to be as extreme as you are. Like, yes, women
live
should
and
cook
let
and
live
clean,
until
but
it
if they're
comes to the
not perfect,
transgenders.
if they're not perfect,
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's
I
crazy
do live
that
and
you
let
guys
live.
all
till
Don't
it
play
comes
in
to
my
the
story. I don't
transgenders.
care if you're transgender. I don't care if you're transgender.
I don't understand.
Go for
It's
it.
live and
I'm not
let
marrying a
live.
transgender.
Let them go play their
Let them
sports.
live and let live. Absolutely.
Live and let live. You
no.
people contradict
That's not
yourselves
equality.
So much.
That's their
It's absurd.
superiority.
Yeah, it's
No,
not
I think you're
superiority.
just
What's
stupid
going on
because
right
I'm
now,
explaining myself and making sense.
The explanation makes no
Right, let
sense.
me-
Transgenders
I saw
absolutely should live
Stacia
and let
wanting-
live. They should not participate in sports.
Let's
It's called a
Stacia-
boundary.
Let Stacia talk. Stacia, you wanted to say something?
you're just all walking contradictions. It's crazy that you can even say something like that. You guys are all fighting with each other about live and let live, and we're having an entire conversation about trans people and their ability or lack of ability to be in sports. So it's wild to watch him with the cigarette, like think he's all pompous, and you over there acting like it's just ridiculous.
Hey, I'm the only one here who is consistent. I said I don't care if you people go in and beat the tar out of women. I don't care. Go do it. They voted for it. I think they need a taste of their own medicine. I think it's good for them. And maybe some of this madness will stop if they actually have to take accountability and deal with the consequences of their own voting.
You're actually insane. You're in
Stop.
your rage.
I want to make it very clear. I don't care that you're transgender. I genuinely don't care if
Ah,
today you're
bullshit. Bullshit. Why do we lie? Why do we lie in these kind of debates? You do care. That's why you're in the panel saying that they should not be playing with women. If you didn't care, you would not be in here. These people lie so much.
woman. Tomorrow you're a man. The next day you want to identify as a cat or a dog. I really don't, like, it's not my issue. But when you make it my issue, when you want to play in my sport, I was a tennis player my whole life. If a man came along who identified as a woman, who I will respect as a woman, I will respect your pronouns, but you want to now eradicate women's sports, now it's my problem too.
This lady,
As long
bro.
as it's not my problem and you go
man.
do you, live exactly. Thank you.
Just live and let live, man. We'll just be hippies in a
Okay, let me
commune
ask-
together
I
until
want
it
to
affects
end
Lady,
by
you.
bro,
asking
I'm
Julie-
telling you.
Okay, I want to end by asking Julie, because Julie, you've been talking about feminism for decades. We're now in a place, a strange place, I think, where women have more freedom to do all the things that maybe previous generations of women did not have freedom to do. And many, including me, actually, think that's a very good step forward. The only downside to this is that birth rates around the world are beginning to plummet to dangerously low levels. And Elon Musk keeps warning that if they carry on like this, it's going to be a very, very serious problem for the future of the planet. So let me just ask you, Julie, when you look at the progress that feminism has made, you can see so many ways that women's rights have been promoted in a better way. But are you concerned about the dropping birth rates and the fact that women no longer, because so many more are going out to work and everything else and prioritizing work perhaps over family, that birth rates ultimately are obviously going to reduce, and that ultimately that could be a very self-defeating thing for the planet?
We need to pay attention to the fact that many women, when they have children, have no support, no childcare, feckless fathers who leave if they're there in the first place.
That's not true.
Where there is very little maternity leave, hardly any financial
Yo,
security.
you guys in Europe almost have 2 years of maternity leave. What are you talking about? Man, in Europe, they have almost 2 years of maternity leave. They pay them a good salary. Yeah, I mean, these people have child credit. They have free healthcare, supposedly. Oh, they have all this stuff, and they don't having kids, man. They are not having kids. This lady, man, this is just semantics, man.
Security, particularly if that woman is in an abusive relationship and can't rely on that second wage coming into the home. So have a look at what will make it more attractive and feasible for women to have babies. And also have a look at the women who are choosing not to have babies because they don't want to be hitched to and trapped with a man who, quite frankly, isn't the love of her life because of his behaviour and
okay.
because of his shortcomings.
this is
That's
stupid.
what we need to be doing.
Okay,
Can I add
Stassi, I
something
want
too
to
that I
ask
think
you a
is
final
unfair
question.
is
that you
inverted.
haven't
Yeah,
answered?
I mean, Emily, I'll come to you and Andrew for final word in a minute. But Stassi, it just struck me as a question I wanted to ask you. How do you feel about drug cheats in sport? You know, when people are caught doping to enhance their performance, how do you feel about that?
Obviously, you know how I feel about that. You're baiting me to twist this around on the trans issue, and
I've no idea how you feel about it. I've never asked you. I've never asked you before. How do you feel about it?
Obviously, I'm not in support of people taking drug enhancements to do better in sports.
But why? Why are you not in support of that, given it just gives them an unfair advantage, which you want for trans athletes? What's the
I
difference?
see exactly what you're trying to do, and I'm not walking into it. It's very clear.
Yeah, you can tell.
my-
You can tell that's not a woman, man. That's crazy. I'm gonna say it. It's just even the way it's debating. It's not. It's a logical side of this conversation that's coming through. That is. is very rare to see, right? In a female.
My stance is with
It's transformers in the sky kind of thing.
trans people, I don't support. I just think that you're trying to walk me into something, and it's not going to work.
It's not working. It's not
So
working.
you
out.
don't
Okay,
support
great argument.
the
Now, I wanna add a
enhancement of
point.
performance through illegal drugs. Okay, that's good. We're halfway there, I think. Emily.
Yeah.
Piers, I just want to bring up a point that, and personally, I don't know the stats. I'd be very curious into looking into it, but I think it would be remiss to not mention the fact that many, many women, personally, I know a bunch, but I want to see the stats on it, are trying to have kids that are doing rounds of IVF, spending all of their money that they've saved up trying to have a kid, are infertile, are having miscarriages, never got their period. I think we also have a really serious health crisis going on, at least in the United States.
No, really? Or they're trying to have kids way too old? You don't want to say, bro.
That Bobby Kennedy is very well aware of, about hormones in the foods that are making it a lot harder for women to have children, because I know many, many women who would love to have a big, beautiful family, but can't even conceive their first child. So I don't know if it's necessarily everyone making a decision to not have kids, rather a health problem. And I'd advise everyone to look into that too.
It's totally absurd. So first of all, the reason they need IVF and things like this because they defer families till they're in their 30s, right? It's not healthy for women to start having babies in their 30s.
No,
not a great idea.
that's not
Yes.
true.
Yeah, not only is it true,
I have
but
a 24-year-old friend who can't get pregnant.
I can statistically prove it. The exception doesn't make the rule. The truth of the matter is, you can even look at infant mortality rates. And in the United States, we have some of the highest in the world, and that is correlated directly to the fact that women are aged out of their 20s when they're having children. You can even see this in other nations as well. Back over to the TERF's argument, she says, well, wait a second, we should really be deferring to women and incentivizing women for more stuff that women want. We do this all the time. We defer to everything that is that they want. By the way, you have free tuition. You do get all sorts of free health care. And by the way, it's the poor people who have the most amount of children, not the middle class or the rich who do family planning. So this idea that you're just going to give the idea that you're just going to give women money and that's going, or some type of support in this way, and that's going to be what moves them towards children, is not true. Usually it's things like religion, religiosity, your key component to traditionalism, your idea of community has nothing to do with family leave. It has nothing to do with that. Never has the birth rate's been dropping like this, like a rock, especially since the 1900s, right? But even in the 1800s. But now, since birth control especially, and women's liberation, the sexual revolution, it has dropped so drastically, we can't even reproduce the population. These aren't answers. You're not answering any problems. None.
It's just because of men like you.
Okay.
Yeah, it's because of men like me. I know.
Yeah. The guy that is reproducing is a fault, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up.
The ones who actually reproduce. It's because of men like me who actually reproduce. I get it. That makes sense.
So what do you suggest? Should women just start like walking around
Can you reproduce? Do you even have a uterus to reproduce? Do you even have a uterus to reproduce? But anyway, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, I just don't understand.
Not ready. Transformation and transforming in the skies. It's not ready for this, guys. See how? Shut up. Shut the head. It shut. Let me be careful here. It became quiet. Because usually when this person goes to these panels, nobody say anything. Because a lot of these guys that go to these panels, they don't shoot back. Like Andrew. Andrew's been in so many debates, he's just seasoned at this point.
Solution. Women should just like kind of settle in their young 20s and just start popping out babies, even if they haven't necessarily met someone that's compatible for them yet, or vice versa.
I thought you were in an anti-natalist language, popping out babies. Oh, they're slave to the stove, popping out babies. No, I think that from a societal view,
I don't do the language.
We can have
I've got to go.
I'm
really late. I've got to go.
I'm answering your
Sorry,
question.
everyone.
All
I've got
right,
to go.
you know what, Julie? Everyone's going to go because we've reached the end of the panel. The only sadness for me is we can't.
I gotta go. You see how disrespectful these people are? I gotta go. You see how disrespectful people are? These people are so disrespectful. This is not a matter of age, guys. They're all very disrespectful. Not all of them. Not all. Some of them are very disrespectful. Age doesn't matter here, guys. Entitlement.
Go and have a drink together, because I think we'd all get on great over a few pints in a nice
Nah, bro.
English pub. But maybe we'll leave that little treat for another time. Thank you all very much.
Well, guys, I would love to hear you guys' opinion regarding this debate. I think Andrew did very well. Exposes their hypocrisy. They're just not crying that, hey, we have transformations just coming in to take our sports. But at the same time, they're voting for these people that just allow these things to happen, but they cannot even see it. This was never a problem, but now it's a problem. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We'll see you in the next one.